Okay, so get this. We are going deep today. Like, really deep.
Deep into the world of tech, huh?
You got it. But, like, not just the fun gadgets and stuff. We're figuring out WHY tech skills matter, like, right now.
And maybe, like, take a peek into the future while we're at it?
Exactly. We've got all these articles, and they're saying tech is basically everything these days.
It really is kind of mind-blowing when you stop and think about it.
Right. Like, I was reading this thing about how much data we create just by, living our lives.
Oh, yeah, that's a rabbit hole for sure.
It said the average person creates, like, 2.5 quintillion bytes of data every day. Quintillion. That's like a 2 with 18 zeros.
And all that data is what's fueling a lot of these tech advancements we keep hearing about.
And, like, personalized recommendations and stuff.
Exactly. Those algorithms are crunching all that data about what we buy, what we watch, even how long we look at something online.
So tech is kind of this invisible force shaping our choices without us even realizing it.
You could say that, which is why, even if you're not a coder, knowing a bit about how tech works is kind of essential.
Makes you a smarter consumer, right?
Absolutely. And a better citizen, too.
One article even said that learning a little coding makes you a better problem solver overall.
Oh, totally. Like, it teaches you to think logically, break down big problems into smaller steps.
Yeah. And those skills, they're useful no matter what you do.
Especially these days when jobs are changing so fast, adaptability is key.
Speaking of jobs, get this. By 2025, there are going to be almost 150 million new tech jobs globally.
Wow.
And not just coding. Data analysis, cybersecurity, cloud stuff.
Yeah.
It's huge EE.
Even jobs that aren't like tech jobs officially. You got to have some tech skills now.
I was reading about doctors using digital tools for patient records.
Right, and marketers using social media, teachers using online platforms.
It's everywhere.
It really is. And it's not just about work either. Technology is changing how we learn, talk to each other.
This one article about the future of education, it blew my mind, talking about virtual reality classrooms. Like, students could visit ancient Rome or dissect a frog, all virtually,
That's wild.
and personalized AI tutors.
Tailored to how each student learns best. That's powerful stuff.
Plus, think about online learning. Anyone, anywhere, can access education if they have an internet connection.
It's incredible, the potential. But, like, we got to remember, technology's a tool. We get to decide how we use it.
They help people solve problems.
Exactly, not just create more problems.
Right, so it's not about being a coding genius overnight. It's about getting how tech is changing the world.
And once you start seeing those connections, that's when things get really interesting.
You mentioned some wild predictions about the future of tech earlier. Are you ready to, like, blow our minds a little?
Oh, you have no idea. We're talking AI, quantum computing, stuff that sounds like science fiction, but it's closer than we think.
Okay, I am so ready for this. Hit me with your best future tech knowledge.
Let's start with artificial intelligence. And I'm not talking about robots taking over the world.
Good, because that's a whole other deep dive.
Exactly. AI is already changing things in ways most people don't realize.
Like real-world stuff.
Real-world stuff. Researchers at Stanford are using AI to diagnose skin cancer, and there are companies making AI-powered prosthetics.
Whoa, hold on. Prosthetics that can learn, like
Yeah.
adapt to how the person moves.
Yeah. AI isn't just making things convenient anymore, it's improving lives in big ways.
So we're talking about improving healthcare, accessibility.
And think about traffic. AI could optimize how cars move through cities, reducing congestion, pollution.
That would be amazing.
Yeah.
And what about those, like, sci-fi level advancements? You mentioned quantum computing before.
Yes, quantum computing. Still early days, but the potential is huge. It works totally differently than our computers using quantum mechanics. It's complex, but basically.
Basically, it's super fast.
Like unbelievably fast. It could do calculations in seconds that would take our best computers years.
Okay, but what does that mean for, like, everyday life? What can quantum computers do that our computers can't?
Drug discovery, for one. Imagine simulating how molecules interact to design new medicines in a fraction of the time it takes now.
So instead of years and billions of dollars to develop a new drug.
We could do it way faster and potentially way cheaper.
That's incredible. What else?
New materials. Imagine materials with properties we can only dream of right now.
This is, like, next level stuff.
It is. It's the kind of thing that drives innovation in so many fields.
I'm with you. So we've got AI, quantum computing. What about space? Any cool updates there?
Space exploration is booming. Companies like SpaceX are making space travel more accessible, opening up so many possibilities.
Didn't SpaceX say they want to send people to Mars by the 2030s?
Yeah, it's ambitious, but they've come a long way in a short time.
And it's not just about, like, planting a flag on Mars, right?
Right. It pushes boundaries in so many fields, materials science, robotics. It inspires people to dream big.
Totally. Like, remember watching the moon landing? It felt like anything was possible.
It's that sense of wonder that keeps us exploring.
Okay, but back down to Earth for a sec. What about those technologies that are supposed to make our lives easier right here, right now? Like smart homes, self-driving cars.
The Internet of Things is exploding. More and more devices are connected to the Internet and to each other.
So my fridge can order groceries for me.
It could. Your thermostat can adjust to your preferences. Your car could drive itself while you work.
I gotta admit, self-driving cars still kind of freak me out.
I get it. But think about it. Fewer accidents, more free time during your commute.
Okay, I see the appeal. But with all this tech taking over, are there downsides? Things we should be worried about?
Absolutely. It's not all sunshine and robots. As
Yeah.
tech gets more powerful, we got to think about the ethical side of things.
Like privacy.
Exactly. And security. Think about facial recognition for surveillance, algorithms predicting criminal behavior. These are powerful tools that could be misused.
I read about companies using AI to analyze job applicants' faces during interviews. It felt creepy.
Totally. It raises questions about bias, consent, and then there's data security. We're creating so much data, it's a target for hackers.
It seems like every week there's a new data breach. It's scary.
It is. We need better security measures, and everyone needs to be smarter about protecting their own data.
So it's not just about cool gadgets anymore. We got to be aware of the risks, too.
Exactly. The future of tech isn't just about advancements, it's about responsibility.
Wow, this deep dive has really got me thinking. It's exciting AD, a little scary, all at the same time.
That's a good way to put it. The future of tech is complex, for sure.
Well, we've covered a lot of ground already. But stay tuned, because in part 2, we're going to dive even deeper into those future tech predictions.
It's going to be wild. Get ready.
Okay, so before we got sidetracked talking about all those downsides, you're about to tell me about some really cool future tech. You know, the stuff that gets us excited about what's coming next.
Oh, right. Well, we were talking about AI, quantum computing, and things like that.
Yeah, stuff that sounds like it's straight out of a movie, but is actually happening in real life.
Exactly. And it's not just happening in labs and research centers. It's starting to make its way into our everyday lives.
Give me an example. Like, what's something that's happening right now that just blows your mind?
Okay, well, researchers are using AI to diagnose skin cancer with incredible accuracy.
Really? Like, better than doctors can?
In some cases, yeah. AI can analyze images of skin lesions and detect patterns that even trained dermatologists might miss.
Wow, that's amazing. So AI is actually saving lives right now.
It is. And it's not just in healthcare. AI is being used to develop prosthetic limbs that can learn and adapt to the user's movements.
So someone who's lost a limb could have a prosthetic that feels almost like a natural part of their body.
That's the goal. AI is making these prosthetics more intuitive and responsive than ever before.
That's incredible. It sounds like AI is going to revolutionize so many different fields.
It really is, and we're just scratching the surface of what's possible.
Okay, so what about quantum computing? You mentioned that earlier. What's the big deal with that?
Quantum computing is like the next generation of computing power. It uses the principles of quantum mechanics to perform calculations at speeds that are mind-boggling.
Quantum mechanics. That sounds complicated.
It is. But basically, it allows quantum computers to solve problems that would take traditional computers millions of years to figure out.
Okay, but what kind of problems are we talking about? Like real-world problems that people actually care about?
Well, one big area is drug discovery. Imagine being able to simulate how different molecules interact at the atomic level.
So you could design new drugs and therapies much faster and more effectively.
Exactly. It could revolutionize the way we treat diseases.
That's amazing. And what about other applications?
Well, quantum computing could also lead to the development of entirely new materials with properties we can only dream of right now.
Like super strong materials that are also lightweight, or materials that can conduct electricity with zero resistance.
Exactly. The possibilities are pretty much endless.
Okay, this is officially blowing my mind. But let's shift gears for a second. I'm curious about space. What's the latest on that front?
Space exploration is undergoing a renaissance right now. We've got private companies like SpaceX and Blue Origin pushing the boundaries of what's possible.
Yeah, I saw that SpaceX is planning to send humans to Mars in the next decade or so? Do you think that's actually going to happen?
It's certainly ambitious, but they've made incredible progress in a very short amount of time. And it's not just about getting to Mars.
Right. It's about what we learn along the way.
Exactly. Space exploration drives innovation in so many other fields, from material science to robotics.
It's like that saying, a rising tide lifts all boats.
Exactly. Space exploration pushes us to solve problems that we wouldn't even think about otherwise.
Okay, so we've talked about AI, quantum computing, and space. But what about those technologies that are supposed to make our lives easier here on Earth? You know, like smart homes and self-driving cars.
Well, the Internet of Things is connecting more and more devices to the Internet every day. This means our homes, our cars, even our cities are becoming smarter and more efficient.
So, like, my refrigerator could tell me when I'm running low on milk.
Exactly. And your thermostat could adjust the temperature based on your preferences and your schedule.
And my car could drive itself while I take a nap in the back seat.
Well, maybe not a nap, but self-driving cars are definitely getting closer to reality.
I have to admit, I'm still a little hesitant about letting a car drive itself. I like being in control.
I understand. But self-driving cars have the potential to make our roads much safer.
How so?
Well, most accidents are caused by human error. Self-driving cars wouldn't get distracted, wouldn't drive drowsy, and wouldn't make bad decisions in the heat of the moment.
That's true.
Yeah.
And I guess it would free up a lot of time during my commute. I could actually get some work done or just relax and enjoy the scenery.
Exactly. It could fundamentally change the way we think about transportation.
Okay, I'm starting to see the appeal. But with all this technology becoming so integrated into our lives, are there any downsides we should be thinking about?
Of course. There are always risks and challenges that come with new technologies. We need to think about things like data privacy, security, and the potential for AI to be used in harmful ways.
Like, what if someone hacked into my smart home and turned off my heating in the middle of winter? Or what if a self-driving car malfunctioned and caused an accident?
Those are valid concerns, and it's why we need to have open and honest conversations about the ethical implications of these technologies.
So it's not just about blindly embracing new technology. It's about being informed and making responsible choices.
Exactly. We need to think critically about how these technologies are being developed and how they're being used.
And we need to make sure that everyone benefits from these advancements, not just a select few.
Absolutely. Technology has the potential to make the world a better place, but only if we use it wisely and responsibly.
Well, this conversation has definitely given me a lot to think about. It's amazing to see how far technology has come and how much potential it has to shape the future.
It really is an exciting time to be alive. But as we move forward, it's important to remember that technology is a tool. And like any tool, it can be used for good or for evil.
I like that. It's a reminder that we have a responsibility to use technology in a way that benefits humanity and makes the world a better place.
Exactly. It's not just about the technology itself, it's about the choices we make.
Well said. This deep dive has been incredible. Thank you for all these insights. I feel like I've gotten a glimpse into the future, and I'm definitely feeling inspired.
That's great to hear. And remember, the future is not something that just happens to us. It's something we create through our actions and our choices.
So, what are we waiting for? Let's go create a better future. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive into the world of technology. Until next time. Okay, so we've talked about all the amazing things technology can do, but, it's not always sunshine and rainbows.
Right. There are some real concerns that come with all this progress and some pretty big questions we need to be asking.
Like, what kinds of questions? Hit me with the tough stuff.
Well, think about it. As we rely more and more on technology for everything, what about the people who don't have access to it?
You're talking about the digital divide.
Exactly. If things like healthcare and education are all online, what happens to the people who can't get online or don't have the skills to use those systems?
Yeah, that's a huge issue. It's like technology can be this great equalizer, but only if everyone has a chance to use it.
Right. And it's not just about access either. We've got to be careful about how technology is used. Like, what about privacy?
Oh yeah, all that data we're creating. Who has it? What are they doing with it? It can get a little creepy.
I know. Think about facial recognition being used for surveillance or algorithms that try to predict criminal behavior. It's powerful stuff, but it could be misused really easily.
It's like, how much are we willing to give up for convenience?
That's the question, isn't it? And then there's data security. All that information about us floating around online, it's a gold mine for hackers.
It seems like every other day there's a new data breach, some company getting hacked.
And it's not just companies. Individuals need to be way more careful about protecting their own data, too.
Strong passwords, being careful about what you share online.
Exactly. It's not just about the technology itself. It's about how we use it, how we protect ourselves.
So the future of tech isn't just about cool gadgets and amazing advancements. It's about responsibility, ethics, the big picture stuff.
You got it. We can't just assume technology will automatically make the world a better place. We've got to be intentional about it.
Wow. This whole deep dive has really been eye-opening. I'm excited about the future of tech, but I'm also, aware of the potential downsides now.
That's a good place to be. Informed, engaged, because the future isn't set in stone.
We get to shape it, right?
Exactly. It's up to all of us to figure out how we want to use this powerful tool we call technology.
That's a great point to end on. It's not just about the tech itself, it's about what we do with it. Thanks for taking this deep dive with us. We'll see you next time.